spot here, and as you may know, iOS 9 has officially been released to public, so you can now update to iOS 9 and experience all the cool and new features, and believe it or not, there is a ton of new stuff. Now in this video, I'm going to cover basically everything you need to know, everything, new features, whether you should update, how to update, and whether you should update in regards to the jailbreak. Alright, so first off, many people have been experiencing issues when trying to update over the air on their devices to iOS 9. So if you do want to update, you are getting errors, I would suggest updating through iTunes on your computer. That's the way I did it, and it did work perfectly fine. Now iOS 9 does take up a lot less space, so I did also install iOS 9.1 Beta 1, iOS 9 Gold Master Edition, and now the official version, and they do take up all the same amount of space. So the same amount of space on every software, as you guys can see right here in these screenshots. Pretty amazing. So iOS 9 updates are going to cut down in size, so they're going to take less space on your device, and new updates are only going to take up megabytes, so that is really awesome, especially considering we still have a 16GB iPhone. Again, iOS 9 introduces a ton and plethora of new features, and I'll try to go through them as quick as possible. Alright, so first off, iOS 9 brings with it some new wallpapers. So here in the wallpaper section, as you guys can see right here, we do have a ton of new wallpapers, and they do look really nice. Now, of course, Apple did remove some, so that is very unfortunate, but my personal favorite is this one right here. But yeah, guys, new wallpapers. You can now access Spotlight Search by swiping down or simply swiping all the way to the left like in iOS 6. Now here, Apple introduces a new feature called Proactivity. So as you can see right here, we have series suggestions. So these are apps that use the most, and over here you have nearby restaurants, coffee shops, or just anything nearby, so that's very cool. Gas, so that's very handy. And over here we also have news, so again, this will change daily, and it is really pretty awesome. So again, you can just access your apps very easily, and you have access to your news and all that cool stuff right in this one area. Now the series suggested apps also appear in the regular Spotlight Search, as you guys can see right there in the top, and something that many people overlooked is that there's now a new Siri button in the search bar right there. So go and tap on this, and of course use Siri, and it does work really well, and it's very quick. So that is nice. Also, you can do simple math straight in Spotlight Search, so that is very cool. And you can even check the weather. Now, if you open up the settings application and scroll up, there's now a search option. So for settings, you could go and search for anything like carrier, for example, and boom. So it's a very easy way to find certain settings in your settings app. So it's nice that Apple included this in iOS 9. Makes it so much easier and quicker for new users. Siri has a new and refreshed design, as you guys can see right here. It's very reminiscent of what it looks like on the Apple Watch. And Siri itself has a ton of new features. She can do so much more. So for example, you can search for photos based on dates. You can ask Siri to remind you about things you're looking at in your apps, including Safari, Mail, Notes, Messages, and even set reminders based on your location. Overall, Siri has been improved, and I have noticed that Siri is a lot quicker too. Now, of course, we do have that new app switcher right here. As you guys can see, it looks very nice in my opinion, and it's also a lot faster when it comes to closing applications. Super quick and a lot faster than before. Now, going back into settings and scrolling down, tap on battery. Now there's a low power mode, so it's just turned around right there, and it's very cool. So this does give you up to 4 hours more battery life. It tones down iOS just a little bit, but again, 4 hours of battery life additionally, so that is very awesome. And even with this off, iOS in general gives you 1 hour more battery life. So that is a huge battery improvement overall. Now you guys may not have noticed this, but now there's a new San Francisco font, so that looks pretty cool. It's a little bit more sleek and clean, and this feature is really cool. So basically, if you go ahead and redirect yourself to a different link, or just go use any link and it redirects you somewhere, you can now tap on this button that says back to search and return to wherever you initially were. So this is very handy, and I can see myself using this a lot. So this is especially useful, for example, when you accidentally tap on a link and you just want to go back where you initially were. Just tap on back to search in the top left and you're good. Also in iOS 9, Apple is working on making the performance better on older devices. So they're still focusing on their older devices, so you can expect a speed bump very soon. Now again, iOS 9 does take up a lot less space, and there's this new feature called app thinning, so apps do take up less space on your device, especially on older devices. So that is very awesome, and again, apps are just even more optimized. Also, the iOS 9 apps and user interface now use Metal to deliver faster scrolling, smoother animations, and better overall performance. So again, iOS 9 is going to be a lot quicker and run a lot smoother. Much better than iOS 8. Now, there is this new news app on your device that's pre-installed, and over here you can see all your news in one place, so this is very cool and does have a beautiful interface as well. So it's a great way to keep up to date, and the interface just looks absolutely stunning and beautiful. It's very readable, as you guys can see, and the format is just great. Now, iOS 9 does introduce some cool multitasking features, but unfortunately they are exclusive to the iPads. So for example, the iPads have slide over, so basically you can slide in a second app and use it. And then you have split view, so you can basically view and interact with two apps side by side. And also you do have picture in picture, so you can continue watching a video no matter where you